Uh, Hi friends, this is Rishi here, and I'm here to discuss the transformation of India in last 10 years. Uh, it's a very interesting decade because it's almost 75 years of our independence. But the things which happened in last 10 years, or let's say last 9 years, has been mind-boggling. Because the things which never used to happen in first 65 years, first 66 years, has happened in last 9 to 10 years. So this is why I'm saying that India has transformed in last 10 years, or it was a decade of transformation. It was a foundation laying transformation which has happened. And I will take you through some data points which will, you know, validate what I'm saying right now. So first we start with how India got transformed. The small building blocks. We talk about the inclusion, we talk about the equity, but we never do anything concrete about it. So what exactly happened in last 10 years? In last 10 years, I mean, the 50 crore people got bank account. Now, it may be a very small thing for you, but then you need to understand the person who never used to have a bank account, or who never used to allowed to get inside a bank account. What happened to him? The 50 people got the first time they got the bank account, and basically our banking coverage ratio, it shot from almost 60% to almost 100%. So till 2013-14, we used to have only 60% people used to have an access to the banking coverage. Now almost 100% is having a banking coverage. So what exactly happened with this banking coverage? Though people started saving money, 2 lakh crore of deposits is there in those newly formed Jan Dhan bank account. Those people start getting credit, which is a mudra loan, which is 42 crore people have got mudra loan, and they actually have a credit history. With they start getting credit. Uh, and then what exactly happened? They started their businesses, they started their what you call self-employment opportunities. They never depended on anyone now. The interest is low. Earlier, they used to go to some money lender and they used to borrow money at a very exorbitant money interest rate. Now they are getting the same thing at a very, very cheap, comparatively very cheap interest rate, around about 9-10%, which they used to pay almost 100% to the money lender. And they used to end up mortgaging their land holdings, their cattle holding, all his assets. So now this thing has happened, and this also brought equality in the sense that most of the new bank account happened to be in the. Now what exactly happened? All the DBTs, which is a direct benefit transfer from the is directly getting credited to these accounts. Now, if government sends 6,000 rupees of PM Kisan, it used to credit 6,000 rupees in her or his account. Earlier, what happened? If you remember, famous during our Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi era, Rajiv Gandhi famously said that if it just 15 paisa reaches to the masses, 85%, 85 paisa get leaked in the system. So that leakage has been stopped. Now, 100 sent by the government, the beneficiary received only, he received 100 paisa only. There's no leakages in the system. So this thing has happened. And what happened due to have? Because, we have able to get the ID cards, the unique ID card, Aadhaar, your biometric base, which is Aadhaar. 10 years back, only 45% used to have the unique Aadhaar card. Now almost 99% used to have a unique Aadhaar card. Uh, uh, no, only 37% used to have a mobile, the smartphone. Now the mobile connection. Now 93% of Indian have a mobile connection. It's just happened in last 10 years. So what exactly happened with all these things? We were able to clean the duplicate and the fake connections eliminate the ghost beneficiaries. Like 4 crore LPG connection has been eliminated. 4 crore ration card, fake ration cards has been eliminated. There are almost 1.3 crore data, like other fake records has been eliminated. And 22 lakh crore has been transferred from the government to those genuine beneficiaries. And we were able to weed out all this fake beneficiary, all this ghost beneficiary. So that was a very big change which has happened. Then you see what exactly happened next. Our LPG coverage, which used to be the 55%, now it is going to almost 99%. I'm talking about in last 10 years. So in first 65 years, it was 55%. In last 10 years, it is 99%. So there was a big change. Toilet coverage from 40% to 99%. Banking coverage, again, I spoke about 61% to almost 100%. Electricity coverage. It used to be only 70% people used to get electricity 10 years back. Today, 100% people are getting have an access to the electricity. Optical fibers. Only 2% people in India used to have an optical connection, optical fibers. Now we have almost 70%, Indians are got covered in last 10 years. And now the most important, the tap water. You will be very astonished to note that only 13% people used to have a tap water prior to 2014. Now it's almost 60% people are having a tap water. So again, the tap water is going up. You see how the technology has been leveraged. If you remember, recently the FASTag has been implemented, and by implementing the FASTag, I mean there are 7 crore right now FASTag user. Every most of this thing is being like what you call there's a mandatory using of FASTag in the national highways. And what exactly happened? It saves 70,000 crore of fuel. The waiting period of a car or a vehicle in the what you call toll plaza have actually decreased from almost 10 minutes to less than 1 minute, almost 40 seconds. 40 seconds from almost 700 seconds. So earlier it was 12 minutes, now it is less than 1 minute. So we end up saving 70,000 crore of fuel, which used to get wasted when we used to wait at the toll plazas. So you can see the difference. Obviously, the earning has increased. There have been no leakages. Earlier, every day, national highway used to earn 60 crore rupees. Now they are earning 140 crore rupees. Since the earning has increased, so now the government can, monetize those roads at a higher prices. They can, they can give it on the lease to some pension funds, and they can monetize the thing, and they can use that money to build another road. So you see the churning has actually, the velocity of this assets have increased a lot. Then we come to unicorn. Before 2014, we just had 4 unicorn. A unicorn means a company a startup which valued at $1 billion. Today, we have more than 120, 25 unicorns. We have emerged as the second largest unicorn creator in last 2 years, ahead of China also. So again, this is a very big achievement, and this is an achievement which happened only in last few years. So this is a very interesting thing. Then we talk about the education. Like this is a very interesting data which everyone should think about. Before 2014, that is like in first 65 years, we just have 16 IITs. Today we have 23 IITs. Before 2014, we have 13 IIMs. Today we have 20 IIMs. Before 2014, we have 75 numbers of institute of national importance. Today, the number have almost doubled, 150. You go to see the aims, there was only 7 aims used to happen before 2014. Now the number have almost tripled. It is now 25 aims, which is right now operational or in the various stage of constructions. and the number of medical colleges. In 2014, we have a 385 medical colleges. Today, we have almost 700 medical colleges. So the numbers have again doubled in last 10 years. So very important thing which we happened. We have recently able to launch more satellites. You have seen just how ISRO used to just launch 7, foreign satellite which is belong to Singapore government. So before 2014, that's like first 65 years of our independent existence, we were able to launch only 35 foreign satellites. Today, in last 10 years, we were able to launch almost 389 satellites, almost 11 more times we have able to launch satellites. So that's a very big thing. And talking about the medical coverage, social security, medical security is a very important thing. So we were able to provide medical facilities to 50 crore people. Like 50 crore people are now covered with that Ayushman Bharat. What exactly? This is just a Obamacare. The only comparable scheme is Obamacare in the USA. And again, the difference is, very big. Obamacare used to cover only 2 crore people. Ayushman Bharat is covering 50 crore people. Annual health premium for the family of 4 under the Obamacare was $5,000. Under Ayushman Bharat, you don't have to pay anything. It's nil. It's free of cost. And total surgery still date under Obamacare has been just 23 lakhs. Under Ayushman Bharat, it's more than 4 crore. So 4 crore people have actually availed the surgeries, have actually able to avail the benefits. And the most interesting part is the cost to the exchequer. Obamacare till date have actually able to, it incurred almost $1.1 trillion of expenditure. And Ayushman Bharat just cost $7 billion in last 4 years. So you can see we able to did more efficiently all the surgeries at a fraction of the cost. And then we come to the renewable energies. In 2014, we just have a 30 gigawatt of the energy. Today, it's almost 170 gigawatts. Almost we able to expand our renewable energy capacity by 6 times. Now India has almost 43% of installed capacity is coming from renewable energy, which is our big contribution to the global order, to the world, who keep on asking us what we are doing for carbon emission. So we are one of the we have able to achieve a lot in a very far shorter span of time. So that's a very important, and we actually we rank third globally in the wind power and fourth globally in the solar power installation. We have actually overtaken Germany last year. So you can imagine what kind of figures we are talking about. Now in last 10 years, we were able to, take the superlative adjectives like tallest railway spire in the world, we have built it. Tallest statue in the world, we have built it. Highest vaccination in a day, we have built it. World's largest cricket stadium, we have built it. Largest renewable energy park, we have built it. Largest tea plantation in a day, again, this record is with India. Highest railway bridge in the world, again, this record is with India. And highest digital transaction in the world, again, it's in India, which is almost 46%. And all this are from India, and this happened very recently. So this is how we are actually taking a very big thing. We were able to, achieve a very big milestone. Like we are able to achieve a $250 billion plus service export, overtaking the total oil export of Saudi Arabia. I mean, you can imagine India is exporting more services than Saudi Arabia is exporting more oil to the world. So that's a big achievement. And our merchandise export have actually able to cross $400 billion mark, which is a big, achievement which we have done. Then we come to the internal security, which is also very important. We were able to, in last 10 years, we were able to reduce the left wing extremist violence by almost 70%. In 2014, or in the just decade before, just from 2004 to 2014, there were almost 4,200 fatalities. Civilians were killed by the left extremists. Today, that in last 9 years, that figure has gone down by 70% to 1,300. The cross-border infiltration in the Jammu and Kashmir has actually reduced to nil. In last 6 months, there has been zero infiltration. This used to be almost 150 to 200 filtration used to happen every year before that. So we were able to successfully reduce all this infiltration, and we were able to shrink the left-wing violence in last 9 years. So that is also very important for the national securities. Then you see we able to we able to improve our world rankings. Our economy, which used to be the number 10th in the 2014, is right now 5th largest now. Our auto sales, India has emerged as the third largest market in terms of the auto sales. We used to be a 7th largest market in 2014. Then we come to the mobile production. In 2014, we used to be the 12th largest mobile production. Today, we are the second largest mobile production, just behind China. We are the second largest steel production today. We used to be fourth largest in 2014. And our global innovation index, we have just climbed to almost 44th rank. We used to be 83 in 2014. So you can see we have done a lot of changes which has happened. And then we come to this tap water connection, which is very important. In 2014, only 2 crore people, 2.2 crore people used to have a tap water. 22 million people used to access to the tap water. Today, 127 million have a tap water. So you can imagine the big difference from 12%, we have actually gone to almost 65%. So that's a big difference which has happened. And I tell you a very simple story. My maid used to come at 10 a.m. She used to do our household job, and she used to leave by 12. Then I suddenly, one fine day, I saw she came at 8 a.m. So I said, how come you are so early? You have to go to your community place and used to do some work and all, your household work. She told me that I used to, spend 2 hours in getting water from a community water tap. Now we have a Jal Jeevan mission. I got my personal tap in my home. I don't have to spend that 2 hours. What I'm doing is that I'm utilizing that, wasted 2 hours and productively, and I've taken another job from 10 to 12. And I'm making more money. She is actually getting around 5,000-6,000 for that 2 hours. So you can imagine if you multiply that numbers with almost 12 crore people, 12 crore families. So you can see the kind of productivity which is going to rise, because the people who used to waste time in filling their water, now they don't have to do it. This is a simple thing the simple change which has happened to them. Then we are talking about urban investment, which is very important. And what exactly is urban investment? Urban investment in infrastructure means sanitation, mass rapid transportation like metro and all, and building some flyovers and all, education and healthcare. In 2004 and 2014, which is the decade just preceding ours, last decade, the central government used to spend 1.57 lakh crore. Today, in last 10 years, this central government is able to spend 15 lakh crore rupees, almost 10 times more. So obviously, if you spending 10 times more, you will get a better infrastructure and better this thing. And how we are getting that? Till 2014, we just have a 91,000 kilometer of highways. Today, we have 160,000 kilometer of highways. 80% jump in last 8 to 9 years. This thing, what do you call the metro railway network? I mean, we used to have just 5 cities used to have a metro railway in 2014. Today, that we have 27 cities which have a metro railways, which is running apart. From 248 kilometer, we are having a kilometer of railway, metro railway network in all over India. The the speed of construction used to be zero point 0.5 kilometer per day of metro. Today, it's almost 6 kilometer of every day. So these are the things which we need to understand. Then lot of the delayed project like the Saryu Nahar irrigation canal, which was delayed from 1978, got constructed. Kosi Rail Mahasetu, which was like 20-30 year project which got delayed, which was approved in 2003, got constructed. Kolam bypass, again, this was a project which was approved in 1975, that got constructed recently. Atal Tunnel, which is the longest tunnel at 10,000 feet, it got approved in 2000 and it got constructed just last year. So we were able to connect and construct lot of delayed project, lot of pending project we were able to finish. Those pending projects were delayed from last 50, 60, 70 years, we don't know. There was a Bojiville rail come bridge over Brahmaputra river in northeast. That got approved in 1997 and recently got completed. So you can imagine what kind of we are talking about. Then you come to railway electrification, which is very important because in 2006 to 2014, only 4,600 kilometer railway has been electrified. Today, we have almost 85% to 90% railway track has been electrified. Almost 37,000 electrified railway track has been electrified, which is almost 10 times than we are able to electrify in the previous 10 years. So 9 times more railway track got electrified in last 9 years. And today our Indian Railways is using 90% less diesel than it used to consume in 2014. So we are using less diesel, which is an imported fuel. So our burden on the exchequer because is 90% less from the railway side. And railway used to be the second largest consumer of the diesel in India. So again, that is very important thing. And then we see the airports, numbers of airports. In 2014, we have a 74 numbers of operational airports. Mind my word, operational. Today, we have 148 operational airports. And we are planning to, spend 93,000 crore rupees of capex so that we get around about 220 airport in 2025. So in 2014, we have 74 airports. Today, we are having 140 airports. It's just doubled in last 9 years, 10 years. And in 2025, we are going to add another 70 airports and we'll going to bring the number to 220. Numbers of commercial aircraft, which is right now flying in India. It used to be 400. Today it's almost 700. 710 aircraft we are having currently. And this numbers is going to go to 1100 aircraft in 2024-5. Now, this is a very interesting thing. Earlier, I'm just giving you one very interesting comparison. Earlier, Delhi International Airport in 2014 was way behind than the London Heathrow Airport. Delhi International Airport used to handle 37 million passengers yearly, and London Heathrow Airport used to handle 73 million passengers every day. Today, we have overtaken Heathrow. The Delhi International Airport is managing more traffic than the Heathrow right now today. So that's a big achievement if you see, considering our aviation thing. Then talking about the social security, which is very important because after economic progress, we also have to give a lot of social security. So 80 crore people are getting a free food grains. 45 to 50 crore people got financial inclusion, that is their bank account. Almost 25 lakh crore cash has been transferred to these people, the poor people, the people who are at the bottom of the pyramid, the needy people.
almost 65% now have a household water, which used to be 13%. So, and almost 10 crore people have a new LPG connections, and they are using it because what happened earlier, they used to use that coal, charcoal, wood, and all this thing, and they used to suffer asthma. Now they are using a clean fuel, which is a good for environment, good for their health, and good for everyone. So again, that is a big thing which is happening. And almost 3 crore people, 3 crore families got a new homes, free homes from the this Awas Yojana which has happened. So 15 crore people, because one family used to consist of 5 people. So 15 crore people are now having a pakka chat, what you call a pakka roof on their head. So that is again a very big thing. And now we are talking about the mudra loans. Almost 42 crore people, have accessed the mudra loan, uh, and almost 23 lakh crore rupees has been disbursed to these people. 68% loan has gone to women. 51% loan has gone to the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBC. These are the very unique Aadhaar based loans. So the NPA has been very low. Only 3% net NPA in the Mudra loan compared to the 5% NPA in the corporate loan. So the Mudra loan NPA is lower than the corporate loan. So that's a big thing which we need to understand. Then we coming how we have able to democratize the connectivity. The in 2014 the price of 3G data was very high. I mean, I remember I used to pay 1,200 rupees for a monthly 3G, data and everything. Those unlimited. That has gone to almost 250 rupees a month, and we are getting a 5G data. We are getting almost unlimited plans. We are able to watch whatever we want to watch on the mobile phone. So even a poor man can watch a IPL in his mobile phone. He doesn't need a big TV. He doesn't need anything else because he had a cheap access to the data, and he's able to watch his IPL or his favorite movie on his smartphone. So that is the big change which has happened. So again, these are the changes which has taken place in last 10 years, and the transformation has been immense. And this transformation actually able to give a better, it has able to laid a very solid foundation for India to grow in almost 7 to 8% trajectory. And this is the reason why we have become one of the fastest growing economy. Our NPA has reduced to one of the lowest. Our banking have a 15-year low NPAs. The unique Aadhaar based payment system has actually given banking a much needed identification process. So they are able to find out who are the defaulters, and they don't give them the loan again. So a lot of things have changed, and this happened because after the very painful reforms we have undertaken. We have undertaken GST, which was a very painful reform, but now it has nicely done. And now we are able to do the banking reform. Now the bank NPA has one of the lowest right now. Then we have taken the RERA reform, which are actually able to free up a lot of stuck home buyers who were due by those unscrupulous builders in NCR and in many other part of the country. Now they have a lot of protection with them. So brick by brick, everything has changed in last 10 years, and the delivery mechanism has changed. So this is the reason why I'm very, very optimistic about the India going forward. And I think in next 10 to 15 years, we will be the fastest growing economy consistently in the world. And we will able to outperform to a lot of peers. And we will definitely from fifth largest economy, we will be the third largest economy in matter of 3 or 4 years. So this is where I'll stop my this thing, and I'll open to the question and answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rishi ji, for enlightening us. Like you explained how India transformed to Atmanirbhar Bharat, like in development wise, and also infrastructure wise, also in delayed project. and also in so many things like digitalization, how data price reduced, everything. So thank you so much for your enlightening speech. So I have few questions like India is the most youth populous country with the highest youth population. How India can utilize its youth power for making the nation Atmanirbhar?
So this is a very interesting. This dividend, demographic dividend, is very important if we able to harness it in a very constructive way, or else this will become a very destructive force. So uh, what we are doing, what the India is doing, India is putting a lot of its effort in the startup India, in the Make in India. They want India, they want other companies to come in India. You're just seeing the Apple. Apple has come to India after China plus one policy. So India has become one of the most preferred destination for the China plus one policy, and Apple has come to India and it able to create a lot of jobs. It's right now have able to create 70,000 jobs indirectly and indirectly, and it is now exporting almost 25,000 crore rupees of worth of phones to the world from the Indian manufacturing hubs. So the kind of the mobile which is very successful, the PLI has been extended to many other sectors like electronics, like chemicals. They are talking about the steel. They are talking about so lot of thing. And secondly, if you remember in 2019-20, this particular present government has reduced the corporate taxes. So by reducing the corporate taxes, we came at the par with the Vietnam. Vietnam has a 15% corporate tax. So obviously all the incremental, what do you call, investment used to go to Vietnam. Now by reducing the corporate tax, we have become emerged as a challenger because apart from being the lower taxes, we also have a very huge population, consuming population. So any company which comes to India and set up its base factory, its thing, it will end up doing three things. It will able to give employment to our youth. It is going to give taxes to our thing, and it is going to create a supply chains. And by creating supply chains means we will be having a more of a cluster developments. Like if Apple start you know making it a more indigenous product, it start taking start more sourcing more components from India, we will able to create more factories, and we will able to get a better work culture from the Apple companies like Apple. So Apple is just one of the example, but there are many examples which are done quite well, especially in the mobile sector, especially in other things. Then again we come to the pharma, we come to the chemicals, the kind of things which have Indian pharma has done. If you see during the COVID time, we able to able to vaccinate almost 200 people. Like if you see, we 200 vaccines we are able to vaccinate in a very short span of time, and those vaccines were made in India. So 200 jabs were given, and all were made in India. So you can see the kind of this thing is happening. The kind of Make in India emphasis is helping us, and they are creating a lot of jobs. So I think this is going to reflected in the EPFO data, which is actually giving you almost 1.3 crore formal jobs is being created every year, which is a very high numbers if you compare with the previous data.
Yeah, thank you so much. So my next question is India leads in talent. However, in innovation and technology, we still depend on foreign countries from importing chips in computer to Rafale in defense. So we depend on foreign trade. Sir, what is your view in this regard when and how India can become completely self-dependent for its needs?
No, and I just want to give you two, three examples. I mean, how we have become a self, dependent country. You see the payment we used to earlier. We used to have our digital payments, which used to be the 4% of our entire transactions. Like all the transaction in India, only 4% were digital. Now that proportion has gone to 76 to 80%, and most of this happened because of our indigenous this innovation which is called UPIs, and this is a free of cost. Because if you used to pay visa, which used to pay money through the Visa and Mastercard, they used to deduct 1% or 2% depending on the merchant. Now you pay it from the UPI, nothing has been deducted. It's free of cost. So this is the one of the most interesting thing which has happened, and we doesn't need POS, that is a point of sales machine. We don't need electricity, we don't need anything, we just need a QR sticker. So if you see all the vegetable vendors or all this, even the small vendors having a QR sticker on his cart, and just you have to pay it through your mobile phone. So this is the one thing which has happened. And secondly, Atmanirbharta, you go to check our defense procurement. Today, almost 80% of the defense procurement is done by the indigenous companies. Like out of 100 rupees we are spending on the defense, 80 goes to our own companies, our Indian companies. So that has a big thing. This amount used to be 37%. From 37%, we have come to 100%. So a lot of procurement which is happening is towards the Indian companies. Indian companies are being given preference. Indian companies are given in scales. You see, earlier even the railway, what do you call, the railway wheel used to be imported from the China. Now Indian companies are building it. Indian companies are building Vande Mataram coaches. Earlier we used to import coaches from European countries. So if you see all this thing, if you just add up, you will able to see the kind of push which has happened to the Indian companies, which has happened towards the Indian manufacturing sector, and that has actually able to create a lot of Atmanirbharta and self dependency.
Thank you. And this is a age of globalization, and Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is the theme of G20 summit. So how to balance between Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam message along with Swadeshi concepts in life of common Indian?
So we always believe in the Vasudhaiv Kutum. You just see we have the one of the lowest emitters of the carbon emissions. In last 200 years, if you just calculate, in last 200 years, we just emitted 4% of the carbon emission. Although we always used to have a 15 to 20% of population, world population was with India. Uh, Today we are emitting less than what you call 5% of the emission. So we understand the responsibility of Vasudev Kutumba, and that is the reason why we have one of the lowest per capita emission. We have one of the highest per capita renewable energy consumption. We understand the responsibility that we should not pollute environment, because we consider world as a single family, and this is the reason why we are giving more impetus towards the renewable energy. We are giving more impetus towards the solar, wind, everything, and we are giving more impetus towards the our nation building thing. So if you remember, there was a COVID crisis. India was the first to ship their vaccines to the smaller countries who never have an access to those Pfizer's and the big shot companies. So India used to export this thing in the under the vaccine Maitri thing. So India used to do a lot of things. I mean, if you see recently, I mean, the Sri Lanka was in the crisis. So India used to send all the food and material to them. So even in Afghanistan, when there was a crisis for the food and thing, India used to send them the foods. Right now, there was a very big food crisis happened in Africa because of the global inflation and food inflation, which happened due to the Ukraine-Russia war. India shipped them the amount of the food to them so that they stay afloat. So India is the one which is able to do this. India never invaded any country in its past so many years. So it was always India got invaded, but India never invaded. So India never did anything wrong in its history. So India was always able to follow the dharma of Vasudev Kutumba. So I think world have a lot to learn from India in this particular case. Thank you.
Thank you. So final and last question. Sir, what is your message to college students and young professionals on the occasion of 76th Independence Day this year?
So you are the most luckiest lot right now, because India is right now in the inflection point. All the painful reform has been taken care of in last few years. So once you come out, you have a more job opportunities. Economy will be buoyant. If economy is a buoyant, definitely the more jobs will be created. So obviously we have a more jobs to choose from. So I think you are here for a golden era where India economy is going to grow almost at the 6 to 7% in next 15 years. We are going to if you see the IMF, if you see the Goldman Sachs, all have predicted that India will become one of the largest economy in coming years. So obviously, to become a largest economy, it has to grow at this speed. So I think you are in a right time, at a right place, and you are the one of the most luckiest lot. And I mean, really wish you well to so that you can capitalize this particular advantage uh, on your side, and you just do well in your career. Thank you.
Thank you so much, G, for enlightening us. Like what you explained is everything is database. Like number of infiltrants in Kashmir is 0 for last year, and then since that FASTag, how it reduced the time. So everything is database. And also thank you for your wishes to the youths and all. And thank you for having thank you for having with us in our Disha Bharat platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank you.
so much.
Namaste.